Right. So basically, if we analyze this 2022 paper, it is similar to 2021 as well, right? But what I identified in this one was there was some jumping done, right? There was some jumping done, which is something like this. I'll show you. So usually after now, let's say, see, entrepreneurship chapter comes after chapter 4, right? Which should be around in this, which is correct franchise. Sorry, like that. That is chapter 4 stuff, right? And then they have gone to 7, right? They have gone to 7. Oops. They have gone to 7. They have gone to IT, right? Big data again IT. Then they have come back to 6 and 5. So make an order වල පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් එනවා, right? 7ට ගිහිල්ලා 6 5. එහෙම ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. So then look at this. Insurance, trade, logistics, warehousing, transportation, communication. So guys, if you study 8, 9, 10, 11, gamma, if you all study, right? 4 question, it's going to be super easy. It's going to be really easy. That's why I say try to master question 4. Okay. But that is also okay. Even this management question is all about management, no? Managerial roles, sub roles, prime managerial skill, mission statement, employee oriented, this thing. Method of productivity, chapter 13. And then they have gone back to management, right? Effective market segmentation. Look at this. But my communication summary, OHS, employee can obtain. Yeah, okay. We'll just go through everything, right? A to Z. So then we have a understanding. Okay. So Suapa company manufactures footwear using local raw materials and sells them to the domestic and foreign markets, right? The company has been encountering many risks owing to the prevailing economic crisis and the import restriction, right? Electricity and fuel crisis have also affected the continuation of manufacturing. Moreover, the company is facing an issue of removing and managing waste. The make possible areas to sentence again, case study again, right? What is the risk of a business? So when you say risk, Metana, they are expecting the chapter 1 risk or even chapter 8 risk you can write. Okay. When there's a possibility of occurrence of any unfavorable events that has potential to minimize and gains maximum losses of the business. In other words, the possibility of a commercial business making inadequate profits due to uncertainties, right? So what you can do is ideally you can give some examples, right? So this is, guys, just remember, this is always for the marking of the teacher, for the reference of the teacher. This is not for you guys, right? This is released to you guys to get an idea. This is not how you should actually write though. Okay. So they have said that is the risk. Indicate 4 risks that SOPA has encountered. Now you have to specify it to SOPA. So they say electricity shortage, fuel shortage, waste distribution, waste management, economic crisis, changes in the government policy, right? හරියට ගොඩ දාගත්තොත් 90කට උඩ ගන්න පුළුවන්. 2A. Briefly, now guys, pay attention properly. Briefly describe how the government restriction on imports of finished footwear affects the Suapa company, right? Then government will have put restrictions on the imported products, not our ones. We are manufacturing here and selling to domestic and foreign. Then මෙහෙට ගෙන්නන footwear තියෙනවානේ. Those footwear the government will put restrictions. Then what is the impact on us. So when you are reading this in the exam paper, pressure එකට ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Exam pressure එකට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. So what you have to do is a pressure එක හොඳට manage කරන්න. Okay? The restrictions on import of finished footwear favorably. So it's good for us when the government puts restrictions to the imports. It's good for us, right? That's what you have to identify. Okay, it avoids foreign competition, right? Scarcity of the sales of the footwear manufactured by Sopa will increase, right? Company profit. So ideally, if you had structured your answers into two, saying avoids foreign competition, and then explain 3 to 4 lines, right? Then next one, uh, increase sales and profits of the company. Then you can explain, right? So just keep that in mind, okay? And also always stick to my answers, explaining this thing, which is point answer, like that, okay? So 2B, try to disadvantages of for customers arising from the restriction. Customer monada තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? There might be quality concern. So sometimes the customer might not get the highest quality ones because now the imports are banned, right? Limiting product limited product offerings, like that there can be things. 3. Propose 2 actions that the SOPA company can take to manage the cost relating to electricity crisis. So what they can do is solar energy, they can put generators, low consumption equipment, educate employees, turning off equipment unnecessary, inverters, and like eco-friendly transport modes, eco-friendly resources, like that. 3B, indicate 2 methods the company can take to manage the waste. So this is basically they are asking 4R, right? 4R, the reduce, so manage the waste. No, yeah. So you can use 4R. So 3R plus recycle. But now they have said some other things as well. Landfill and incineration. What do you mean by incineration? That means you are puchana. You are going to burn the waste, right? Waste compaction. That means you are going to compress the waste, like that. 4th one, identify 2 macro environmental trends connected to the above case and explain how they affect the company, right? Now there are environmental issues, forex crisis, economic crisis. Now you have to say how it affects us, right? How it affects us. ඒක තමයි ඔයාගේ duty එක, right? Right. So cost of removing garbage, imposing rules and regulations, health and safety, community concern, right? Foreign exchange gatot cost taker, competition, commodity, scarcity of fuel, all those matter, right? Right. And then 5th one, if the management of Suapa company decides to discontinue the footwear production in future, explain 2 impacts it causes to the Sri Lankan economy, right? So like if they stop production, people will lose jobs, GDP එක අඩු වෙයි, right? Then පොඩ්ඩක් හරි අඩු වෙයි නේ, right? There will be scarcity for footwear, supply chain problems, right? ඒ වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Okay. So do you guys have any doubts in question 1? If you all have any doubts, just ask me, like unmute and ask me if you all have any doubts. Or if you all don't have any doubts, just put a thumbs up. Okay. Next one is question 2, right? Franchise can be considered as a prevalent business, right? What do you mean by prevalent? What do you mean by prevalent? It means famous, right? It means Yeah, I'll show you all the definition. Yeah, widespread in a particular area. That means ගොඩක් තියෙනවා, right? Prevalent in a business. Indicate two advantages a franchisor enjoys through this business method, right? Franchisor advantages මොනවද? Okay. So McDonald's ලට මොකක්ද advantage එක? Right? So when you think of franchisor, sir, ලොක්කා කවුද? McDonald's. Expand its business without further investment. Share cost of advertising, returns from the franchisee, spontaneous returns, nourished by the franchise. Now, what are the disadvantages? දැන් හොඳට බලන්න two disadvantages. Yeah, two disadvantages to the franchisee. Okay, can advance the disadvantage මොනවාද? So franchisee will have control, right? Franchisee will have control. එතකොට කරදරයි. You have to bear a greater cost to get the franchise. Possibility of profitability being answered. Just because you have the good name of the franchisor doesn't mean it will definitely confirm profits for you know. It might not work out. Certain level of risk is involved because of the dependence of the goodwill. අපි යාගේ goodwill එකෙන් depend වෙනවා. එතකොට අපි බලන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට සමහර වෙලාවට අපි expect කරන දේ හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Franchising facing severe inconvenience because of the need of the adherence to the franchise agreement, right? So they have very big conditions because of that. They have to adhere to that. Okay. 2A, difference between ethics and laws. Now, this is a new question, right? We know about ethics, but we don't know about laws, right? But in ethics, we have learned it's the good things to do. කරොත් හොඳයි. Okay? But laws කියන්නේ මොනවද? Laws is අනිවාර්යෙන්ම කරන්න ඕන. Right? Ethics means it's good if you do. Laws mean අනිවාර්යෙන්ම කරන්න ඕන. Okay, so in a point again, with that point, you can create some answers, right? We can create some answers. So ethics are morals and principles, right? Those are morals and principles. Whereas laws are rules and regulations. Okay? Ethics do not attract penalties. දැන් ඔයා හොඳ දේ කරේ නැහැ කියලා ඔයාලට penalty එන්නේ නැහනේ නේ. එතකොට අවුලක් නැහැ. But if you fail to make the to adhere to the law, you have to seek penalties and punishment. Legislature make the law, කියන්නේ government එක. Ethics are made by the society. Good differences, huh? Authorities can change laws. Can change laws. Ethics are changed through social phenomena. ඒ කියන්නේ කට්ටියම decide කළා කරොත් නේ. ඒ වගේ scene එක. හරිද? Laws are objective. Ethics are subjective. Laws, that means applies to all. Okay? Applies to all. Right. Law are common or all general, not generic. Reactive, proactive. ඒ කියන්නේ වැරද්ද උනම් පස්සේ තමයි law එක එන්නේ. Ethic එක එන්නේ වැරද්ද වෙන්න කලින්, proactive. Law should be written, unwritten. Okay? Right. Then we have two pillars of sustainable development. So we know we have three, you know, environment, social and economic. Environment we can call it planet, social people, economic profit. 3 P's, triple bottom line, right? අපි මේකට මේ 3 P's වලට කියනවා වචනයක්, right? 3 P's වලට කියනවා triple bottom line. Triple bottom line. It's called triple bottom line. Okay? So they just explain, focusing on the environment like carbon footprint, packaging like that. Social balance, you are going to be concerned about the employee stakeholders. Economic balance, profits, compliance, good governance, all that. 3. Name 2 other statutes that affect partnership, except for Partnership Act, right? Partnership Act එකට අමතරව what are the other things which this thing, okay? So fraud prevention ordinance, right? Making කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Can someone tell me what is told by fraud prevention ordinance, if you all can remember? If you all can remember, tell me what is told by this. Someone unmute and tell me. Hello. Anyone can unmute and tell what is said in the fraud prevention ordinance number 7 of 1840. දැන් ඒක අලුත් එකක් තියෙනවා number 30 of 2022. So ඒකේ මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? Okay. So basically, what is said by that is, if your invested capital is more than 1,000 rupees, yeah, if no, guys are almost correct, right? If your invested capital is more than 1,000 rupees, you don't have to register. You have to have a written agreement. That's the point. Okay, now write it down. Fraud Prevention Ordinance number 7 of 1840. What is said in that is, if your invested capital is over 1,000 rupees, you have to have a written agreement. Now, did you guys understand it? If it's clear, put a thumbs up. Okay. Right. So then there is registration of business. Now this is basically the business one. Civil procedure කියන ලොකුට වැඩ නැහැ. Companies Act එකේ මොකද්ද කියන්නේ? What do they say in the Companies Act? What do they say in the Companies Act? They say that the maximum number of partners is 20. Okay. Maximum number of partners is 20. That's what is said by the Companies Act regarding the partnerships. Okay. Right. 3B. Indicate for advantages of a limited liability. Limited liability. That means it's an independent organization, collective ownership, common needs. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. They're asking about the cooperative business sector. Cooperative. Cooperative it's an independent organization. Got together voluntarily. Can මිනිස්සු voluntarily ආපු කට්ටිය. Collective ownership, common needs, democratically controlled. Value of the share is unchanged, which is 100 rupees. Okay. Having one vote for one member, right? One person, one vote, right? Any surplus will be distributed. This is called contributor reimbursement, right? Or patronage refund. That means මොකක් හරි ඒගොල්ලන් activity එකක් කරොත් which brings them a surplus, they will distribute it among the members according to the value of transactions they have done. එතකොට අපි ඔකට කියනවා ඔය concept එකට contributor reimbursement or patronage refund. Okay. Profit making is not the initial objective. Make a profit නෙමෙයි බලන්න. Right. 4A, indicate advantages of a limited liability company, right? Shares and debentures, free transferability, limiting frauds, collect more capital, good corporate governance, share market, access the share market, or public companies, legal personality, continuity. Then they are asking, according to the Companies Act number 7 of 2000, indicate the mandatory requirements to be included in the names of listed and private companies, right? මොනවාද අනිවාර්යෙන් තියෙන්න ඕනේ? Listed company එක නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් PLC තියෙන්න ඕනේ. I have told you this. Private company එකක should have PVT LTD, right? Private company එක නම් they should have PVT LTD. ඒක අනිවාර්යෙන්නේ නේ. හරි. Next one. Define what is meant by restructuring of public sector through public sector enterprises. State for objectives. Then අපි බලන්නේ public sector එකක් කොහොමද අපි restructure කරන්නේ? Restructuring of public sector enterprises is deliberately changing structure and ownership. We know that there is so much corruption in Sri Lanka, right? And that there should be a proper structure. So what are the objectives of the PSC? Right? To reduce the fiscal burden, ඒ කියන්නේ cost අඩු කරගන්න, නේ? Increase competitiveness, induce technological modernization, like where you can like automate for something like, let's say, getting the license online, something like that. Provide better consumer or public services, encourage broad-based share ownership, create an enterprise culture, ඔය වගේ දේවල්. Okay. Right. Do you guys have any doubts in question 2? Is it clear? If it's clear, put a thumbs up, or if you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Let's see. How does a public limited company which isn't listed call? Good. So basically, public limited companies, there are two types of, which is listed companies and unlisted companies. In listed companies, the name format is PLC, which I mentioned here, right? So I'll just quickly put a small note there, right? Uh, Public companies, there are two types. Okay. Public companies, two types as listed and unlisted, right? Listed ඒවා කොහොමද එන්නේ PLC. අනිත් ඒවා එන්නේ company limited කියන name format එක. Or co limited. Like let's say Leon Co Limited, right? Leon Co නෙවෙයි Leon Co Limited. එහෙම ආවොත් it means it's an unlisted company, right? If it's Leon PLC, it's a listed company. Tariq, all good? Is it clear? Right, sorry. Okay. So we will go to question number 3. Yeah, they are asking 4 parties who can cross a check. Okay, now I have mentioned few times anyone can cross a check, right? Anyone can cross a check. Okay, drawer, drawee, bearer, pay, anyone, issuing bank, collecting bank, everyone. Okay, but who can? Okay, answer this question. Who can cancel a crossing? Who can cancel a crossing? Someone tell me. Who can cancel the crossing? මොනාර හරියට spelling එක දාන්න. Okay, good, very good. Others also tell me, guys, who can cancel the crossing? We know that anyone can put a crossing. It's only the correct Tarinsa, very good. Correct Zia, correct Tariq. Vihen, Senesa, Gaisha. Tell me, who can only cancel the crossings? It's the drawer. Okay, ඒ කියන්නේ account holder ට විතරයි cancel කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් හරි මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. අනිවාර්යෙන් අහනවා. හරිද? Right, drawer. Okay. Briefly describe legal implications of crossing a check, not negotiable. So what happens when you cross a check, not negotiable means then mama check එකක් දෙනවා, let's say වනාරට saying not negotiable, right? So simply the meaning of this is she can't get a better title than me. That means she can't get more rights to the check than me. We will have equal rights. Okay. මේ බලන්නකෝ. Does not acquire a better title than the person who he acquired the check from. It means a person takes a stolen check marked with not negotiable from another person and encashes it. Then he is liable to refund encash money to the true owner. Okay. So basically what you have to remember is you can't get a better title than the owner. You will have equal titles. Right. 2A. State to non-financial services given to develop entrepreneurship. Okay. Develop cash. Sorry. For services given by ATM. Okay. Given by the ATM මොනවාද තියෙන්නේ? Withdraw cash, deposit cash, balance inquiry, bill payments, change the PIN, get mini statements like that. What do you mean by big data? IT කරන කට්ටිය you all should know. It means greater variety. Like we know that data comes from variety of sources arriving in large volumes, right? Big ගොඩාක් එනවා and really fast. Okay, so even at an ATM even at a counter, everywhere data is generated, right? So big data means data is generated from multiple sources, really fast and large quantities, right? Okay. Then we have e-money. This is basically digital money, a monetary medium of exchange that is represented on an electronic device. 3A, non-financial services, advocacy services, that means advisory, including management, entrepreneur training and development, research and development, infrastructure, market facilities, offering awards of excellence, awards and awards of excellence. Yeah, offering awards and awards of excellence. 3B, creativity is a fundamental characteristic of an entrepreneur. Briefly explain the importance of this characteristic with an example. So it's the ability to visualize, think, and implement in a different manner, like new business models. What else? New products, new payment methods like that. Okay. Fourth one, entrepreneur is considered as the lifeblood of a country's development. Indicate 4 reasons to justify this statement, right? So basically, you need them to accelerate economic growth, promote innovation, social changes, industrial development, right? Create employment. This is one of the main things, right? Improve productivity, all like that. Okay. These are stuff we have already written down, guys. Like many times in our class, we have written these down. Okay. Fifth one, briefly describe 4 challenges currently faced by micro, small, and medium enterprises. I think we have written this about 2 to 3 times. Okay. Lack of resources, no finance, increased market competition, inability to compete against larger firms, subjected to instability, lack of entrepreneurial zeal, weakness in management, increase in tax, corruption, all that. Okay, if this question is clear, just let me know. If you all have any doubts, let me know. Okay, so no questions. So let's go to question 4. Two difference between life insurance and health insurance. Life insurance and health insurance, right? Health insurance කියන්නේ general insurance එකේ part එකක්. නේ? Yeah. So life insurance offers an assured sum. Health insurance covers the cost of the hospital, right? Long term, short term. Now this is a new question. Usually they ask life insurance and general insurance. Now they're asking life insurance and health insurance. Financial support for family and benefits. Make a insure කරන එක්කෙනාට විතරයි හම්බ. Damage is certain, damage is uncertain. Like we know definitely we will die. That's why you call it damage is certain. Health insurance, we might not be accident. Right? We might not meet with an accident. Can be mortgage, cannot be mortgage. Right. 4.1b, indicating whether a tenant could insure a rented house. Briefly explain insurance principle which was based for your drawer, right? Then I don't know whether you guys can remember, we did a old past paper 2004 or 5, something like that. And then there was this question, MCQ, a tenant can insure the house, right? I don't know whether you guys can remember, right? So see, the tenant cannot insure the rented house because the tenant has no insurable interest. This principle says that individual must have insurable interest in the subject matter. Then tenant ගෙදරට නැති වුණා කියලා ගෙදරට fire එකක් වුණා කියලා යට වැඩක් නැහැ නේ. He can find another place, right? So he doesn't have insurable interest. Keep that in mind, right? And maybe this year they will ask about pawnbroker, right? Pawnbroker will have insurable interest on the pawn goods. මොකද ඒ goods එක නැති වුණොත් අර මිනිහා ඉල්ලන් එද්දි මේක නැති වුණා කියලා කියන්න බෑ. Pawnbroker will have insurable interest on the pawn goods. Keep that in mind. Okay, now they are asking functions of the World Trade Organizations. Last year before that, they had asked the areas of SARC. Okay, areas of SARC. Now this time, I'm telling you, write this down. Okay, they will ask functions of World Bank, IMF, or ADB. Trust me, they will ask. because they had asked last year SAC එකේ මොකද්ද තිබ්බේ SAC එකේ මොනවද areas ටික right දැන් මේ පාර අහලා world trade එකේ මොනවද functions ඊළඟට අහන්නේ IMF definitely IMF international monetary fund go through the function I'm telling you it's going to be an easy question if you know those four others are going to be super easy okay so right now itself if you have your notes update it go and see මොකද්ද IMF එකේ functions ටික මොකද්ද මූ කියන්නේ කියලා බලලා ඒක sort out කරගන්න right World Trade Organization indicate four functions right 3B four strategies that can be adopted to increase export earnings right I don't know whether you guys saw අර Nas Daily කියලා YouTube කෙනෙක් ඉන්නේ so the tourism minister they have signed an agreement with him he will go and do videos around Sri Lanka to promote tourism and he has a very wide base abroad right so in order to improve the export earnings he has done that so you all can even write that for example you can say partnering up with content creators to improve from tourism provide technical assistance no මේක to be yeah searching new markets simplifying the export process improving physical infrastructure expanding access promoting bilateral and multilateral agreements ඔය වගේ දේවල් පුළුවන් now they have reverse logistics what is reverse logistics අර highland කිරි bottle එක බිව්වා නම් ඒක අපි දෙන එකට තමයි reverse logistics කියන්නේ gas cylinder එක අම්මා පාවිච්චි කළා ඊළඟ gas cylinder එක ගන්න නම් you have to return the previous one that is reverse logistics refers to the supply chain process of returning products from end user either the retailer or manufacturer through the supply chain in other words reverse logistics comprises the sector of supply chains that process anything returning inwards through the supply chain of traveling backward right return of goods by the customer to seller or manufacturer gas cylinders removing used items right like that you can say right then the next one is third party logistics warehouse or 3PL for short is an outsourced business that takes care of company's supply chain and logistics 3PL third party that means outside external party will do your logistics warehousing something like warehousing inventory management maintenance janitorial services they can cleaning services security services right something like that okay right state for benefits a businessman can obtain using proper packaging and equipment in the warehouse secure storage accidents adu වෙනවානේ කට්ටියට accidents adu වෙනවා efficiency in handling the organization easy traceability economic utilization improve productivity cost saving like that describe two reasons each for and against ඔන්න හොඳට command බලන්න for and against ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා ලියන්න ඕනේ sorry මම ඉස්සෙල්ලම කිව්වා proper packaging වල and equipment in warehouse by using proper packaging and equipment in warehouse right these are those benefits then we discussed two ways how the crisis condition prevail in the transportation field affect the business and consumer parties right then due to transportation මොනවාද අපිට උනේ cost of production increase වුණා business වලට employees lage attendance case වුණා they started to work from home distribution schedules case වුණා raw material ගන්න බැරි වුණා support services delay වුණා employee productivity අඩු වුණා right to the consumers expenditure will increase standard of living will be reduced inconvenience delay to the workplace all those will happen now the next question is for and against communicating via social media so basically they are asking මොනවාද හොඳ දේවල් social media වලින් communicate කරන එක මොනවාද වැඩක් නැති දේවල් social media වලින් communicate කරන්න මේ වලට you don't have to know an ounce of business studies right that's why I'm saying fourth question is a very underrated question right very underrated question if you can get the main theory points you can score 20 out of 20 for this right you definitely can score 20 out of 20 for this right? Anivaran okay so make sure you all go for question 4 right right I'm going to give you guys a command. මට කියන්න මොනවාද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? හරි. මම කියනවා compare and contrast two types of markets. Right. Two types of markets. Right? Or you can say compare and contrast marketplace and market space. Okay, right. Now, what is the meaning of this command? Can you guys tell me what we have to do here? Can you guys tell me what we have to do here? Compare and contrast. Okay, Senis are good. Others? Others? Guys, quickly answer. What do you have to do here? Honara? Very good. Guys, Tarin say, ඔගොල්ලෝ ඉක්මනට කියන්න. ඉහෙන් Tariq. So it's not only differences, right? Compare කියද්දී it's differences. Correct. Compare කියද්දී it's only differences. Contrast කියද්දී අපි බලන්න ඕනේ similarities මොනවද කියලා. That's the main point that I wanted to tell you all. Compare and contrast means you have to write differences as well as you have to write similarities. Okay. So when you say marketplace and market space, compare කරොත් අරකේ 24/7 make it 24/7 bear can inspect cannot inspect the good, can inspect the good, normal differences. Similarities you can write exchange occurs, right? Needs and wants are satisfied, buyers and sellers interact, right? And ඒ වගේ කියන්න පුළුවන්. Did you all understand it? If you all understood it, put a thumbs up quickly. Okay, let's go to part 5. I mean, question 5. All right. So, බලමු management එකේ මොකද්ද කියලා තියෙන්නේ. So they are asking Gihan, the CEO of Samagi Textile, bearing risk introducing creative products for the growth of the business. Similarly, he represents the organization at employee events at all possible situations. මේක මම හිතන්නේ managerial roles පැත්තට යන්න. Maintains effective dialogues with them. Moreover, he builds good relationship with internal and external parties, right? Negotiator, sorry, liaison පැත්තට යන්න. හරි. Let's see. So they are asking what are the two main managerial roles that should be possessed, which can be identified through the listing, right? ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ question එක තමයි sub roles දෙක මොනවද කියලා, right? What are the two main management roles? It's yeah, you can even take decisional information ඔක්කොම ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. Interpersonal, so main management role ටික ගත්තා. Sub roles මොනවද ගන්න පුළුවන්? So figurehead, right? He represents the organization, right? Yeah, අපි ඒකත් දාගමු. Represents the organization. He represents organization and employees or maintain effective dialogues with them, right? මේකට එනවා ඇත්තටම කිව්වොත් මේක determinator නේ. Yeah, even determinator you can take. Spokesperson නම් මට වැඩි සෙට් නෑ ඒක කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියලා. But disseminator නම් වෙනවා. Right? They say he says maintain effective dialogue with with employees, right? So liaison වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? Good relationship. Okay. Monitor because he doesn't say they search information, right? Who bears risk and introduces creative projects. Make out the bears risk and introduce creative projects. Okay. ඔන්න ඔහොමම ටිකක් තියෙනවා. spokesperson monitor මට set උන්නේ නැහැ. Negotiate එකත් yeah external parties කියන නිසා let's see. Okay, හරි. So these are the listing. Right. 2A. Prime managerial skill Gihan. Gihan කියන CEO. CEO needs conceptual skills. Right? Why? Because of these reasons. Holistic understanding, foresee the future, understand problems, astute intelligence, da 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 da. 2B. If Gian intends to develop a mission statement, state for components. තියෙන්න ඕන දේවල් mission statement එකේ, right? Customers, goods and services, target market, technology, philosophy, self-concept. About those, he should say something, right? Concern about employees, da 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 da. Right. Okay. Gihan is famous among employees as an employee-oriented leader. He takes care of the employees. Define employee-oriented leadership and indicate two characteristics of it. Focuses much on motivating the employees rather than controlling them. So, friendly relationship, faithfulness, right? Loyalty, respectful relationship, employees participation. Like I've seen some bosses, they're like ballon to kata karanne employees, right? But some are mara kind, they act as like a father figure. Recognizing and rewarding employees, positive relationships like that. Okay. 3B, indicate for benefits the business can obtain if Gihan intends to decentralize. Decentralization wala advantages. We have done this so many times. It's so easy, right? So please, yeah, duty of top management reduces, make quality decisions, implement decisions, subordinates development, employee motivation, effective communication, all that. 4, labor productivity, right? Formula make a calculate correct. So basically you have to take output over number of labor hours. Okay. So output is 300,000. Number of labor hours is 2,500. Okay. So ekada gatta 120 units per labor hour. Machine productivity same way, number of machine hours. So 300,000 divided by 4,000 hours. So 75 units per machine hour. අපි ඒකත් specify කරමු. Labor hour, machine hour. Okay. හරි. Total productivity. බලන්න total productivity එක ගන්න කොහොමද කියලා output divided by input. දැන් මේ input එක ගන්න විදිය තමයි 550,000 ගන්න එක තමයි ගොඩක් අයට ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්නේ. Okay. හරි. Let's see how we got 500,000. Right? How did we get 550,000? Okay. So first thing is we have to calculate raw material cost, labor cost, machinery cost, energy cost. Okay. ඔන්න ඔය ටික calculate කළා තමයි මේ 550 එන්නේ. Okay. හරිද? Right. Raw material ගත්තොත්, right? Raw material ගත්තොත් it's 10 per unit, right? Into 5,000 units. Okay. Which is rupees 50,000. Sorry. Labor cost එක ගත්තොත් it's 100 per hour. How many hours like that? 100 per hour. How many hours? 2,500 hours. Which is, quickly calculating that, tell it to me. What make it gone again quick point. So 20, 250,000, eh? right? 250,000. Right. ඊට පස්සේ we had to calculate the machinery cost, which is 25 per hour into 4,000 hours. ඒක කීයද ළමයි? Rupees 100,000. Yes, 100,000. Good, Senis. And then energy cost is straight away we can take it 150,000. So when you add all of them together, 5300යි 400යි 550යි. දැක්කද 550 breakdown එක ආපු හැටි. Okay. All right. So next one, they are asking how to increase machine productivity. How do you increase machine productivity? You have machinery with advanced technology, unbroken machinery, maintaining them, bottlenecks, all that. Fifth one, name and describe the steps should be taken in the control process. Control like a right? But you have to describe it. Establish standards, measure the performance, recognize deviation, taking corrective action. More easy, right? Up until now, was there a hard question? Yes or no? Up until now, did you spot any hard questions or something like that? Not that much, no? කරපු ඒවාම ගොඩක් තියෙන්නේ. Okay. So that's why we wrote those papers for a reason. And lot of those papers I have prepared before this, sir. I have prepared before 2022. So ගොඩක් ඒවා ඒ වගේ තමයි, right? And I somehow try to make it more practical. මොකද එහෙම දුන්නොත් තමයි පොඩ අමාරු වෙන්නේ. Right. 61A, they are asking Rasanjali produces high quality goods. Newly recruited marketing manager of the firm emphasizes the need of segmentation and sales promotion. So, ප්‍රශ්නේ segmentation වලින් sales promotion. So, moreover, he needs the suitable package. Packaging වලින් එනවා, right? Mention for equipment of effective marketing. Mazda. Requirements නම් Mazda. Mention for හතර ලිව්වා ලකුණු දෙකයි. Since now they are asking advantages. They had asked this in 2020 also, right? Since the entire market is subjected to analyze, much awareness about the market. Recognize appropriate and periodic market. Utilize limited resources. Identify time and collective markets. Launch market programs successfully. Promote new products like that. You can see. 2A, indicate 4 factors to be considered when developing a package for biscuits, right? When you are developing a package, you have to see the nature of the product. Benefits to the product, technological eligibility, features of the product, convenience to the trade. Everything what I realized is, guys, they have asked everything ගොඩක් from the syllabus. Second part එකේ ගොඩක් අහලා තියෙන syllabus එකම ඇතුලේ, which how it should be, but previous years පොඩ එළියෙන් ගොඩක් අහලා තියෙනවා. But ඔය එළියෙන් අහන්න පුළුවන් chapters තමයි IT, trade, right? The chapters that they can ask from outside is IT and trade. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Right. If there is a demarketing for business, and now there's a new concept, demarketing. Mention 4 strategies. Now, let's say people are like not liking your products. Like there's a negative this thing now. I don't know whether you guys have seen Bika Kela biryani kade Rashen, right? Saying people are saying really bad about it, right? It's not good. They are using seawater in Matara to prepare it. Chicken so there's a demarketing like that. Okay. So in a situation like this, what can we do to overcome it? Sales promotion එකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්, CSR ඒවා කරන්න පුළුවන්, corporate social responsibility. So Ascend does a lot of helping other people, right? එතකොට එයාට ඒක හොඳ brand එකක් වෙනවා. Awareness campaigns, advertising, redesign products, rebranding ඔය වගේ දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. According to product classification, indicate the type of good that biscuits belong to and state with reason most suitable distribution strategy. Biscuits are convenience goods, right? You need a wide distribution network. So basically indirect distribution එකක් තිබ්බොත් හොඳයි. And also from manufacturer, agent, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. ඔන්න ඔය විදියට යන්න පුළුවන් නම් it's good because that's the best way to reach a lot of people. 4A, indicate two advantages an investor can gain by purchasing treasury bills. Simple questions ah. මම මේව ඔක්කොම අහලා තිනවා මගේ papers වල. Interest rates, security is zero, sorry, security is high, tradable, right? Treasury bills are issued at discount. Government securities are subjected, no, are not subjected to withholding tax. Right now they are asking differences between, now this is a famous question. Difference between LCBs and LSBs, right? මේගලන්ට current accounts තියෙනවා, මේගලන්ට බෑ. Foreign exchange පුළුවන්, foreign exchange බෑ. Can accept deposit from funds, engage in these funds. Need to register in monetary board, make a banking act. Create money, cannot create. Short term, long. Okay. Next one. 4 reasons for CST to be important for the economic development, right? Why you need the Colombo Stock Exchange? Individuals and investments වැඩි කරගන්න, benefits, opportunity to collect capital, ability to attract foreign investors, funds by selling government security, creating value, increasing goodwill, like that. Question 7. Capital budgeting is the process of a business evaluating a potential major project, long term. Okay. Long term. There's an advantage of sourcing funds internally than externally. Do you agree? Right. So basically, you have to say the advantages of internal. Okay. So reduction in cost, easy to obtain, no need of paying back. Liability of the business is not being increased. No need to obey special conditions. So if you say no, these are your arguments. Large capital, tax concessions, reduced work time. So these are basically advantages of external. Hari. Explain two reasons as why compensation management is important. Comp and ben. Comp and ben. Comp and ben. That means compensation and benefits. So may compensation management එකට මොනවාද ඇයි උදව් වෙන්නේ? Satisfaction එකට, retaining top talent, improving performance, reducing turnover, අර හොඳ results ටික ඔක්කොම ආයෙ ලියන්න පුළුවන්, right? 2B, indicate 4 actions that an employer can take if an employee commits an indiscipline act. So if you guys can remember the order of things, it's going to be really good. Verbal, written, fine, suspension, transferring, halting, demoting, termination. 3A, indicate 2 special characteristics of human resource. So they are vital. That means life factor, can react and think, control other resources, increase the value through training. You can practice value. Yeah, right. B, state. Sorry. Briefly define what is meant by probationary period, right? And indicate of advantage of it for both employer and employee. Probationary period can time taken recruiters to understand company policy, rules and job responsibilities. Period of service is called the probationary period. Yeah. Advantages for another. It's like a trial period, right? Trial period. Employer to trial period. Allows the employer to evaluate new hires. අලුත් ගත්ත කට්ටිය මේ අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන්. Advantages to the employee, allows employees deciding whether work fits in or the probationary එකෙන් ගිහලා බලන්න පුළුවන් මේක සෙට්ද නැද්ද. Ability to learn and experience The working environment. Ability to familiarize with co-work. Side 4. Name 3 job elements. Make a alut prashna, right? It's in the syllabus, but make a alut prashna, right? Tasks, duties, and responsibilities. That's the answer. It should come. Okay. All right. So they're asking briefly describe interrelationship. So task is a series of distinctly identified motions. Duty is a collection of tasks. Responsibility refers to the obligation to perform up to the expected standards. ටාස්ක් කියන්නේ පොඩි කෑල්ල ටාස්ක් වල එකතුවක් ඩියුටි ගොඩක් එකතු වුණාම මේ ජොබ් එකක් වෙනවා ඒ ජොබ් එකට තියෙන රෙස්පොන්සිබිලිටි එක තමයි responsibility. 4B. State 4 internal factors to be considered in forecasting HR demand. Internal, right? They're asking internal. Okay. So objectives, production method, future retirements, number of employees to be resigned, promotions, future projects. External tamai demand for the product. Demand for the product. That's an external factor. Labor market conditions. That's also an external. University, two redressers an employee can obtain if a labor tribunal provides a verdict. Right? එයාට reasonable නැති verdict එකක් set වුණොත් decision එකක් ආවොත් මොකද කරන්නේ? Reinstatement of service. So let's say company එකක් employee කෙනෙක් එක්ක වලියක් දාගෙන company එක පෙරදෙනවා. Right? එතකොට if a labor tribunal provides right to redresses an employee can obtain. Employee ට මොනවාද හම්බ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? එයාව වැරදි එයා දින්නොත් employee දින්නොත් එයාට ආයෙ job එක හම්බ වෙයි. It's called reinstatement of service. Award compensation in lieu of reinstatement. ඔයාට සල්ලිත් හම්බ වෙනවා. 5B. Briefly describe two negative consequences a company may face by not using occupational health. Right? So increase the premium, සල්ලි වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ සල්ලි වා ගෙවන්න වැඩි වෙනවා, compensation ගෙවන්න ඕනේ, charges for legal requirements, unrest, productivity, all that. Okay. Last question. Information can be classified based on the criteria. Mention the types. So according to the nature, it's quantitative, qualitative. That's it. Primary, secondary, තියෙනවා but ගන්නවා. Right. 1B. Functions of an information system: communicating information, assist to increase the quality, assist in minimizing the cost, provide a situation for facing competition, ascertaining successfulness. Right? Input process output බෑ ඒක ගන්න බෑ function ඔව් ඒක අන්න එතන තමයි confusion එක මට මතකයි this question was asked in 2021 or 2020. Yeah. And one more time before that, right? So in one of the times they had given answers for input process output storing feedback, but in the other ones they had asked these long answers. So better to write both men. Communicate information, assist to increase quality, minimize at 2. Briefly explain difference between system and operating. Now this is come. Okay. Manages the resources and allows the user to interact with the system. Operating software again, initial loaded, all are managed. Right. So I have given a note on this part in my tute. So please refer that. Okay. Right. Next one. Right. Next one is 2B. Top management, top management, middle management, technical officers, clerical. So technical KWS, clerical will mainly use OAS, but they will use TPS as well. Top management is ESS, middle management is BIS and DSS. Right, for advantages that a business can obtain using internet for business affairs. E-commerce, this is a very easy question, right? E-commerce, advertise goods, obtaining necessary information, minimize competition. 3B email address will have this thing. A and B මොනවාද? A කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Username or username. I actually don't know this, right? I don't know what you call this. And then B is what? Country code. Maybe .lk, .com or .uk, .au. එහෙම තියෙනවා. The fourth one, mention 4 advantages that a business can gain by preparing a business plan. And a business plan එකේ advantages අහනවා. Okay. Briefly describe the main objective of preparing an executive summary. ඇයි executive summary එකක් අපි හදන්නේ? Aim of the executive summary is to provide a condensed version of the main document, right? Main document is the plan. Executive summary කියන්නේ it's a condensed version of everything that is included in the plan. Fifth one, state 4 instances where financial plan that is included in the business plan is important. මොන වෙලාවේද amount of funds, and then if there are investment decisions for the funds, financial shortcomings, excess funds, ඒව ටික identify කරගන්න පුළුවන්. And finally, bring explanation, briefly explanation the necessity of conducting an environmental assessment when preparing a business plan. So basically to identify, yeah, so you can say identify strengths and we set weakness, opportunity threats. ඒකත් අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? Right. So is everything clear here? If it's clear, put a thumbs up. And what do you guys honestly think about this paper? මොනවද ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ paper ගැන හිතන්නේ? Easy or hard or what? Easy or hard or what? Come on, everyone has to answer quickly. Come on. We can wrap up now, but everyone has to answer quickly. Okay. Easy. Cover. Just one word. Easy or, yeah. Shape. Not much easy, not much hard. Yeah, it's moderate. Like, just compare my papers and see. මේ වගේ මේව තමයි තියෙන්නේ. Okay. Hari. So then we can stop. Oops. So that's the end of the discussion. So if you all enjoyed that, please subscribe and like and share it with your friends as well so that they will also be benefited. Thank you guys.